and welcome back. In today's life hacks video, we are talking parenting, and I will be giving you 5 steps to help you become the best parent you can be. So stick around. Well, before we jump on into these 5 steps, let me go ahead and preface this video by saying I am in no way the perfect parent, and I'm not here to preach at you. Instead, I'm here to discuss with you things that we all can do together to become the best parents we can possibly be. Whether your children are 5 or 55, you can implement these things and become a really great parent. The first thing that you can do to become a great parent is remember you are a parent. Too often I see parents who want to be friends, best friends actually, and roommates to their children, letting go of all the parental responsibility, and that is never a good thing. And on the flip side of that, I often see parents who want to become dictators and owners of their children, and neither is that a good thing. We have got to find ourselves somewhere in the middle. Parenting. That's right, parenting. It is your job as a parent to guide, to mentor, to teach, to instruct, and of course to love unconditionally. It is your job to make sure that you are giving as much wisdom and imparting that to your children as you can, because one day your children are going to be adults who need to be viable citizens living on their own. You cannot overprotect them, but you also can't underdo the job of parenting either. You have got to be willing to make the hard choices. Do you know that love, real love, sometimes is tough? But it's the best thing you can do for your kids, to set boundaries, to set guidelines, and to set rules, because after all, you are shaping them into tomorrow's generation. The second thing you can do to be a great parent is be relatable. Very often I see parents who distance themselves from their kids. They kind of forget what it's like to be a kid. I want you to stop for just a minute and put yourself in the shoes of your children. Now, I know they may be very little, and for some of us it's hard to remember back that far, but I can guarantee you if you try, it's probably not quite as hard as you think it is. And especially if your children are a little bit older, maybe they've hit those teenage years, it is very important, especially during this time range, that you be as relatable as possible. Put yourself in their shoes and remember what it was like to be 15, 16, 17 years old. Remember the kind of things that you wanted to do and how you thought you could conquer the world. That is the same way that your teenagers are feeling, and they need a little bit of freedom in order to express exactly what's going on in their head. Be relatable, be approachable, keep open and honest communication with those teenagers, because that is going to help them have trust in you. It's going to help them be a lot more apt to come and approach you with some of life's biggest circumstances. So by all means, don't forget the relational aspect of parenting while still maintaining the leadership of parenting. Don't put yourself so much in the leader role that you become a dictator that is now unapproachable, where your child feels that you no longer relate. Stay relatable, and it will go a long way with those kids. The third thing that you can do to be a great parent is be fair in your discipline. Now, what I mean by that is very often I see parents who are implementing discipline for wrong behaviors in a very unfair way. You've got to make the punishment match the crime, so to speak. Whatever offense it is that your child has done, the punishment needs to be fair and not too severe. On the flip side of that, the punishment can't be too lenient either. It needs to be fair, and it needs to fit the offense. Don't be guilty of over punishing your children, because all that does is breed frustration and it breeds anger, because believe it or not, your children really do have a sense of what is right and what is fair. And even when you administer a fair discipline, sure, they're not always going to like it, but deep down inside they're going to have the satisfaction of knowing, at least at the end of the day, mom was fair, dad was fair, and they're going to be a whole lot apt the next time to be more compliant with the discipline. The fourth thing that you can do in order to be a great parent is be consistent. Far too often what I see is parents punishing a child one day for a certain behavior, and the next day the child does the same behavior and gets away with it. This breeds a lot of frustration in your children because they really don't understand what the boundaries are. They really don't know when they're stepping out of line and when's going to be the day they're punished. You need to be consistent. If it is a behavior that you have been known to hold a discipline for, then you need to continue that discipline. Don't give in to them pitching a fit. Don't give in to the whining or the pouting. Stay consistent. And by all means, don't give in just because you're tired. Yes, parenting is very hard work. It requires a lot of energy and it does require some mental stamina. But I am telling you, it's going to go a long way with your children when they feel that you are consistent, because they will quickly learn the boundaries to know where their behavior needs to lie, and that is going to make it a whole lot easier on you in the long run, because once boundaries have been established with consistent discipline, they're not very often broached again. And the fifth thing that you can do in order to be a great parent is watch your words. Far too often I hear parents speak in a very demeaning, derogatory tone with their kids, and that is never the way to go. Even when you need to bring discipline to your children, you can still select positive words to reinforce what you're trying to convey. It really is possible. There's power in your words, and every time you use a negative mindset and a negative phrase with your kids, something such as this: I knew you were going to do that. You are so stupid. You're just like your mother. You can't do anything right. I wish I never would have had you. Those type of words speak to the spirit of your child, and it damages them far worse than anything else you could ever do. And by all means, don't demean them in a public place. If you're going to have to discipline your children and get onto them, pull them aside. Don't embarrass them in front of their peers, and don't embarrass them in front of other adults. Make it a habit, especially when you're in public, to lift your children up, to point out the good points, and to make sure that you are reinforcing the positive characteristics and traits in your child. If you will also do this at home behind closed doors and speak positive words, uplifting and encouraging them, you are going to speak life into your child. You will watch them bloom, blossom, and flourish. They won't get as frustrated. They won't tend to hate themselves like a lot of teenagers can do, and even younger children. They are going to learn to love themselves, and that kind of self-love and unconditional love from you towards them is what's going to motivate them towards right behaviors. These 5 steps are super easy to implement. Yes, it may take a little practice, especially if you've been in the habit of some wrong parenting styles, but you can do it. I know you can. And again, these 5 things can apply whether your children are very small, maybe they're even older, out of the home, on their own. It doesn't really matter what their age is. You implement these things as part of your parenting style, and I can guarantee you, you are going to see a lot more success in your home. Be a parent. Be relatable. Be fair. Be consistent, and watch your words. Those 5 things will bring you much success. I want to thank all of you so very much for tuning in today. Remember, you were created for purpose, so go and be all you can be. I'll see you soon in the next video.